Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got a new project that just pulled in the shop. It is a 99 Jeep TJ, and it's got some goodies. You know, it's got a Dana 44 up front, some sort of crazy rear axle, LS engine, turbo 350 in it. Doesn't have a transfer case yet, but it did come with an Atlas. I think I'm gonna be saving that for a different thing. But this will be a series of videos. We're gonna try to get this thing running at least on today's video, and let's see what else we can get into. So if you guys are interested, check it out. Alrighty guys, so I've never done like a barn find or a will it run video, but man, this is about as close as you can get to a will it run / abandoned vehicle in a field type situation. So I haven't even popped the hood on this thing since the day I bought it. I did look under the hood, but not for very long. I do have an Atlas in the passenger seat. That's pretty freaking cool. I was actually pretty pumped about this. The rest of it's just your TJ. It actually has a decent cage in this thing too. I'm not gonna lie. The welds are pretty presentable. They brace the window, so I'm not sure if this is a kit or whatever it may be, but it's all the way down to the tubes down below and over to the frame. So it is tied into the frame. Let's see here, going around this thing. This is the rear axle. Pretty wild. I thought maybe it was a rough stuff housing in the pictures. I think it's just somebody's fabricated some sort of cage around a 9-inch. Not 100% sure, but yeah, that is, I don't think it has a, I was hoping it'd say something. It might say something there. But anyways, that's what we're working with on the rear end. And then going inside here, oh boy, there's some shocks on this. We do have a fuel cell, we do have a rear seat, we do have drive shafts, a couple broke axles, some spindles, decent stuff to work with on this thing to keep it a budget build. So that's the goal, is to keep this thing as cheap as possible. So we're gonna just try to get it going, back on the trails, and hoping my budget's gonna be around $1,000. So we'll see. Definitely need some cleaning. But I think it has some potential. I'm actually pretty pumped about it and excited to get this thing back up and going. So let's go ahead and pop this hood and see what we're dealing with underneath here, because I really want to put a battery on it and see what comes to life and what doesn't. So I don't even see any place for a battery. I wonder if they relocated it all to the back. Oh, what's this? Yeah, that's a power wire going to here. Oh, those aren't even terminal ended either. They're just smashed in there. Wow. Oh, here's something. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's starter wire. What is this? Oh, that's to my winch. Is that a bird's nest down in there? Winch. It must be going to the back. We got a ground. Not a very good one, but it is supposedly a ground. Power wire. I think that's probably going to the back. Oh boy. It's open. Is this shock work? Oh yeah. I think that's broken or something, but it is up there and it is staying up. Nice, fixed one thing. Speakers, Kenwood amp, cool. I don't see any place for a battery. Let me start cleaning this out and see if we can't find a battery box. Oh, there is a battery back there. I do see one. Let's dig all this out real quick and go from there. All right, so we got a lot of the big stuff cleaned up out of here. Haven't cleaned anything yet, but just kind of looking through everything. I think this is for like LEDs and crap. So we'll cut all that stuff out of here, but I think it'd be pretty exciting to throw some power at it and see what happens. So I did get to the battery over here. These are looking pretty bad. So I do have another battery. Oh, that's 2025. That's not even that old. I don't think this has, does it have juice? No, keys on the position. All right, so let's see what happens when I put a battery in here and go from there. Start back 6 feet and aim at base of fire. Press button and sweep. Okay, push button, sweep. Got it. Feel like I'm ready. We'll go negative. Okay. Okie dokie. Positive. Cool. Couple of sparks. Not bad sparks. It's positive, right? Yeah, negative, negative, positive, positive. Nothing's heating up yet. Okay, let's see what happens when we turn the key. Oh shit. Oh, stuff's working. See what happens. Let's see if it turns over. I wonder if it even turns over. Okay, well, I flipped all the switches and that I could see. I don't know what any of those go to. Oh, I got a fuel pump. That does fuel pump things. Fuel pump ever turn off? Wow, actually a fuel pump. That is like the Mac Daddy of sheet metal screws. Okay, I just moved a ground from a really poor ground to the exhaust manifold. Let's see if that does anything. So moving that ground made the fuel pump happier, but still no start. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead. I got the battery disconnected. I'm gonna switch some wires up and then we'll see what it does then. Alright, disregard this wire. This is what I thought maybe was the start wire, but actually this wire just feeds this crappy thing right here, which I don't really know where this is going either, where this green wire goes on the other side. Might chase that down real quick and see if that's part of my start circuit. I don't really know. Let's go check it out. Alright, well, I'm still on the hunt for whatever the start wire is, or the exciter wire to the solenoid from the ignition. So when you turn the ignition to start, there should be 12 volts applied to some wire somewhere. So I either have to tap into a wire under the column, not that hard. I was hoping this was already a running vehicle, but I don't know if it's ever ran, judging by how bad the wiring is to the starter currently. So we're gonna jump the starter with my little crescent wrench here and see if the engine turns over. So that'll really tell me what I'm gonna do from there. We'll see. Oh, need a better ground real quick. Okay, tried a different starter. How about now? Why don't it rotate over? I don't get it. Huh. Turns over by hand pretty good. Won't turn over with the starter. And that's the second starter I tried. Alright guys, so I had it kind of screwed up a little bit. I actually had a ground going to this terminal right here. So every time I was trying to start it, I was pretty much shorting out this. So, oopsie. Been a minute since I hooked one of these things up. Just went over to my buggy and looked at how I wired it, and that basically told me what was up. So this is also positive. This is positive on the battery side. You shoot power to it, it makes a connection, sends power to here. So that's what the relay or starter solenoid does. Now that I have it all done, wired incorrect, I have positive going to the battery, from the battery to this stud, positive on a trigger here or the switch, and then here is just connected. Basically this nut is just ran down. You don't do anything with this one. And then I added a big ground to the starter, and voila, it turns over. So let's turn it over a couple times, I guess, and see what fuel I can put to it and see what the heck happens, I suppose. All right. Oh yeah. So let me add fuel and see what happens. All right, so we've had this thing on the charger for a little bit. Let's see if it'll start. I don't know if it will. Still a lot of questionable wires and hardly any grounds on anything, so I don't know. Let's see what happens. And super old gas. Oh, that's close. Shoot, I'd call that a win. I mean, it needs fuel, which I don't know if the fuel pump is working adequately. I don't know if there's fuel in the tank. I'm pretty sure the fuel's no good. It's been sitting forever. But shoot, I think when we give it some fuel, it's gonna start right up. So I might not mess with any of this wiring. I might just tidy it all up, fix all the ends on everything, put new ends on it, just new connectors, and kind of go from there. That's the quickest way to victory. Let's start tidying up this wiring. I think that's the next thing I want to do. So I'm going to take off all this extra loom, whatever the crap this all goes to, get rid of all this stuff. All right, got this thing off. These are never fun to get off. They're always stuck on. This one's bent somehow. Not real sure how that happens, but I installed my special tool down there. Yeah. Perfect. And it just kind of sits over there on the fender. Worked great. Just got to remove my special tool now and then onto something else. I do have a fan. I've been holding on to this fan for a while. Just a nice Spall. I think it's a Spall. Nope, D-rail. So I got a big old D-rail fan. We'll shove that on the front of this thing. Get her wired up to a nice relay. And probably... See, that's the other thing too, is normally there's a fan controller on the ECU. So maybe I can find some wires over there that say fan. I don't really know. I'll mess with that in a minute. But anyways, yeah, let's get that fan installed, remove my special tool, and then continue on. Alright guys, so I'm going to want to tackle, so I got a little ways ahead and didn't video much, but I got some little ties, those little quick ties on there. Electric fan is in. Still don't have the wiring done. Got to figure out how I want to do that yet, if it's going to be on its own relay. I'd like the computer to trigger it, but I don't know if it has the output wires on this ECU, so more to come on that. I don't see any other output wires, and usually a little bit heavier gauged wires, and even the trigger wires, I'm not sure where those ones are at. So anyways, long story short, I got to figure out the fans. Might just put it on a switch on there, I'm not real sure. And then put it on a thermostat. So there's those probe style thermostats you can get to, and just stick it in there and wait for it to warm up. So that's another way to do it. So fan's good. Fixed some wiring. If you can see over there, the wire loom, fixed all that stuff. Still got a couple more wires hanging out. The battery, I think I'm gonna put the battery here, but I don't want to put the battery here until I figure out if I'm going to use those coilovers or not, or if I'm just going to use this suspension that's already on there. It's looking pretty rusted, which means that probably not very strong anymore. So I might, I'm not sure on this one. But one thing we do got to fix is going to be this axle. So this bolt either fell out or something. I don't really know what's going on here, but this needs to go in here and then put a bolt through it so that way the axle's not tipped up. So let's go ahead and try to tweak this or twist this to get this in there, and then it's another thing done. We'll see what the suspension looks like when this is all tied back together, and go from there. All right, that was pretty easy. Just got that bolt line back up. Everything back in there. The shock and coil spring are in presentable locations. So these are pretty rotten out. A little iffy on those, but you know, the goal of this thing is just kind of get her running and be budget friendly. So I think I might just leave all that stuff in there. Kind of go from there. So if it falls off, it falls off. Figure out another time to fix it again, but for right now, that's looking pretty good. All right, guys, it has been a little while, so got through some parties and some other vacation time, and we're getting back on the Jeep. So something I ordered in, I got this radiator hose. This should work, I'm pretty sure, to feed these two, so let's get that in. I still need to make a spot for a battery tray. I haven't figured out if I want to do it up front, over there, back there. We'll figure that out. Then we continue on our wiring, so we can knock out all the wiring. So let's get this cable unwrapped from this thing, swap out that hose, and try to make some more progress there. All right, guys, this is where we're at. So got the intake tube, just ordered this off of Amazon. This is there. This hose that I was hoping would work isn't gonna work because it's too short and I can't make it work around this intake tube. So this is the original one, which looks like it would work pretty good. So we also need to splice this for the sake of being easy. There's a aluminum sleeve that goes in here to splice two hoses together, and on that aluminum tube there is an MPT fitting. So there's actually two MPT fittings. One will be my steam port. So steam port is gonna run over to that fitting, and that way the steam port, instead of being plugged, this one has just been plugged like that. Pretty nice. So that way the steam ports will vent back into the coolant system like it's supposed to. Additionally, we'll have another MPT fitting on there. I'll either weld one on or whatever. And on the second MPT fitting will be the thermostat for this. So I haven't found on this harness anything to indicate any sort of fan control. I also didn't make this harness. This is just one that was in here. Looks like a cut down version that someone did in their garage. No worries, it is working, I think. So we're just gonna leave that all there, make it easy, run a thermostat to a relay. Relay will power our new, well, used derail fan, so the electric fan will kick on automatically. You don't have to worry about forgetting and burning the thing up. So that's what I'm waiting on. I got a fitting. It's like a 2-week ship time though, so it's gonna be a while for that. This needs to get cut down because I do have a filter I pulled off of the Avalanche. So we'll use this filter, shove this on there. It needs to be cut though, so let's cut this thing probably 6 inches. This needs to be on there, and then the filter attaches to this. So this is a mass airflow sensor. So let's do all that, and at least then our intake will be set up and ready to go. We'll just be waiting on a fitting for this, and we'll continue. Oh, we could probably start making a spot for our battery, which I think I'm probably gonna have to cut into here or there. I don't know, somewhere. Let's figure out that here in a second. All right, this is about as far as I can get. I do have the intake all on, mass airflow in, filter on, so super happy with that. It's pretty stout. This line is looking good. I just need to get that other tube with the MPT fittings on it before I cut either of these. So that's all good. I think I'm still waiting on, I did order, because I'm being lazy, a cheap, the name of the game here is budget, but a cheap universal battery tie down or battery tray. So I need to figure out where I can put that and where I can mount it and how I can mount it. But that comes in a couple days, so we're gonna move on to the back. All right guys, so in the back, we got the fuel cell, which I don't want it mounted this way. I want it to be spun and mounted the long way. I had another TJ I did the same thing with. So that's where I want it to be mounted. With that, I need new fuel lines. So we got some fuel line, a fuel line kit. Let's try to unratchet strap our fuel cell and then spin it and then see how long my fuel lines need to be and where I need to route them to. So I think that's what's up next. Okay, new day out here in the shop. Got our brackets mounted in there. Turned out pretty good. I don't know if I said this already, but put some basically 3M. It's like a piece of rubber basically, just as a protectant on all the surfaces, so the steel doesn't rub through on the aluminum, and gives it a little bit more life, just from the abrasiveness of dirt and stuff in there. So got that done. Tanks mounted in. I did some vacuuming, so pretty decent. Still needs to be pressure washed out, but at least it's not disgusting anymore. So got that going. I think I'm onto these fuel lines. So we got fittings. We got these quick connects on here, whatever you want to call them. So those are already on there. Just need to make some lines now, and then I drilled a hole through the floor. We'll make sure to put something around that sheet metal just to make sure it doesn't cut through the hose. But yeah, I think we're gonna do some fuel line today and then get this thing to start off the key. That's the goal of today, or at least turn over with a key. So let's get to that and see how we do. Okie dokie. So I think I'm gonna work on this next. This just looks like hot garbage. Yeah, this isn't even welded on there. Pretty disgusting. So I'm gonna try to clean this up and make it look like cold garbage, and then see what it looks like after that. So pretty bad. These were stripped out. I ended up using a tap, ran a tap through them, went up to the next size bolt. Those are all good now. So we're on to making this look a little more presentable. So the other side is boat sided, probably to cover up how bad it was. If you just boat side it, you can't see any of it. So anyways, let me get the grinders going, a couple cutoff discs, and wire wheeling, and see about making this look halfway decent. Alright, there you have it. Lipstick on a pig. Hey, that turned out pretty good though. I mean, just from the complete crap before to now, not too shabby. I mean, paint that bad boy up, it's like a professional did it. Yeah, pretty happy with that. This down here, I just moved my light. This down here, I'll have to either take a hammer and smash this up, then try to weld it all in, or maybe cut that off. I don't really know. So right now, it's a good grounding spot. And still got some more stuff to weld. Haven't welded that yet. Got a couple things to grind down, but just gonna knock out this and then weld up whatever other crappy spots are on here. And yeah, move on to something else. Okay, to speed you up, I got the start wire finally. I couldn't figure out where it was out here, so I actually had to take the steering column apart and then check all the wires until I found a wire that when you went to the start, it lit up. So it had 12 volts in the start position. So found that, ran a new wire all the way down to the starter, I still don't have a battery tray, so I can't put the battery anywhere, so I can't cut any of the other wires or make it to the lengths I need it. But for right now, I really want to try and start this thing. So I checked, it does have oil, which I did not check before, but it does have oil. It is very dirty oil, but it's oil. I got a couple more grounds put on this thing. The fuel lines, found one leak. That was my bad. I tightened that up, but I think everything is good there. So let's see what the heck happens if I crank it up now that everything's more complete. I even have the vacuum leaks gone and stuff like that. So let's see what happens. That's awesome. Started up, started idling. Man, that's awesome. I don't think anything's leaking. Cool. I'm pumped about that. So now we're just a waiting game. I think that's where I'm going to call this episode quits, because I got like 2 to 3 weeks of parts to arrive. So some of the parts I ordered were back ordered. Small parts, I don't know. I probably could just make them again, but is what it is. But it starts and it idles. So I have no idea the oil pressure. Still got to get an oil pressure gauge in it. Probably need to order one of them. Temp. I don't have any coolant in it, so I need to do that. But I'm just pumped I got the wiring figured out. That was a freaking nightmare. So the wiring is figured out. Sitting over there, not pretty, but it's done. I just have to wait till the battery tray comes in and I can button all that other stuff up. But that's when we wrap this video up, guys. Like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.